Imagine this, a 9-year-old boy abandoned in the steppes, without food, without protection. His tribe left, leaving his family to die of starvation. Chances of survival? 0. Now fast forward 40 years. This boy stands at the head of an army of 200,000 horsemen. Under his command, territory from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. Half of the known world bows before him. This is not fiction. This is the real story of a man who was born as nobody and became everything. The story of Genghis Khan. Today I'm going to tell you how this even became possible. The Mongolian steppes. A boy is born to the family of a minor chieftain named Yesugei. They named him Temujin. The shamans noticed a bad omen. The child was born with a blood clot in his fist. According to beliefs, this meant the boy would either become a great warrior or bring much bloodshed to his people. They weren't wrong. Temujin was only 9 years old when his father went to find him a bride. On the way home, Yesugei stopped as a guest with the Tatars, a hostile tribe. They recognized him and poisoned him. Yesugei managed to reach home, but died in agony a few days later. And this is where the real hell begins. Father is dead. Temujin is the eldest, but he's only 9. Yesugei's clan gathers a council and makes a decision. We don't need this family. Too many mouths, too little use. They simply leave. They abandon the widow with 7 children in the steppe. Without protection, without provisions, without a future. Temujin's mother, Holun, was left alone with 5 sons and 2 daughters. Imagine, the steppe, winter, no support. They ate roots, caught fish with bare hands, hunted marmots, survived as best they could. Hunger makes people cruel. One day, Temujin and his brother Kasar caught a fish. Their half-brother Bakhtur took it, not for the first time. Temujin and Kasar looked at each other, took their bows, and shot Bakhtur with arrows. He was 14 years old, over a fish. His mother beat him, screamed, "You killed your brother. We have no friends except our shadow." But Temujin had already learned the main lesson of the steppe. The weak are not spared. But the story gets even worse. The Tayachud tribe, which was once allied, decided to finally finish off Yesugei's family. They attacked, captured Temujin, and put a wooden cangue on him, a heavy board around his neck so he couldn't escape. He was to be executed. But at night, during a feast, Temujin struck the guard on the head with the cangue and escaped. He hid in the river, breathing through reeds. They searched for him all night, didn't find him. A man from the enemy tribe helped him, Sorkhan Shira, hid him, fed him, let him go. Temujin remembered this. Many years later, when he conquered the Tayachuds, he found Sorkhan.
Made him one of his commanders. Remember this moment, it's important. Temujin was 16. He survived. But surviving doesn't mean winning. He needed allies. He remembered Borte, the girl his father had chosen as his bride. Temujin came to her family, and surprisingly, they agreed. Borte became his wife. Her family gave a dowry, a sable fur coat, expensive, valuable. Temujin understood, this is a chance. He took the coat and went to Togrultan, the powerful leader of the Karaites and his father's old friend. He gave the coat as a gift, asked for patronage. Togrul agreed. Temujin had his first serious ally, and he also had a blood brother, Jamukha, a childhood friend. They grew up together, became Ondas, sworn brothers. Together they began to gather a band. Young warriors, dissatisfied with the old chiefs, were drawn to them. Life seemed to be improving, but the steppe never gives respite. The Merkid tribe attacked Temujin's camp. They were taking revenge. Remember, Temujin's father once stole his mother from the Merkids. Now they came for payback. Temujin managed to escape to the mountains, but they took Borte. Imagine what he felt. Wife in captivity, enemies laughing. But Temujin didn't fall into rage. He did what would later become his main weapon. He planned. He went to Togrulkan, then to Jamukha, said, "Help me, and I will be indebted to you forever." They agreed, gathered an army, and completely destroyed the Merkids. Borte returned, pregnant. 9 months later, a son was born, Jochi. For the rest of his life, people whispered, "He's not Temujin's," but Temujin acknowledged him, loved him as a son, though doubts remained forever. This was the first victory, but it also became the beginning of the end of friendship with Jamukha. You see, after the victory, warriors began to choose whom to serve, Temujin or Jamukha, and many chose Temujin. Why? Because Jamukha was an aristocrat. He believed in ancient laws. Nobles by birth command, commoners obey. And Temujin? Temujin said, I don't care what clan you're from. If you're loyal and strong, you're my man. Meritocracy versus aristocracy. Steppe outcasts, slaves, poor people all went to Temujin, because with him they had a chance to become someone. Conflict is inevitable. The Battle of Dal and Baljut, Temujin against Jamukha, brothers who became enemies. Temujin lost, retreated to the mountains, lost men, but he didn't break. He learned, analyzed mistakes, and understood. In the steppe, it's not the strongest who wins, but the smartest. The next 15 years, Temujin played chess, political alliances, betrayals, wars. He fought the Tatars, those who killed his father, destroyed them. All men taller than a cartwheel, executed. The rest incorporated into his army. Cruel, yes, but effective. The Tatars ceased to exist as a people, and Temujin became known throughout Mongolia. He fought the Naimans, a powerful tribe in the west. Their leader
mocked, Temujin smells of garlic. A year later, the Naimans were defeated, their lands seized, and their leader dead. Each victory brought new warriors, new resources, new power. But the main enemy remained Jamukha, his sworn brother, his former friend. The final battle. Jamukha's army is destroyed, his allies scattered. His own people tied him up and brought him to Temujin. They met, two men who were once like brothers. Jamukha said, "Kill me without blood, like a brother." According to Mongolian custom, this meant break the spine so the soul wouldn't leave the body through a wound. Temujin agreed. Jamukha was executed. And those who betrayed him, Temujin ordered killed, with the words, "Who betrayed his Khan will betray me too." Lesson learned, loyalty above all. The Onan River, the Great Kudaltai, a gathering of all Mongolian tribes, chiefs, shamans, warriors, thousands of people, and they proclaimed Temujin with a new name, Genghis Khan, universal ruler. A former orphan, a former slave, now Khan of all Mongols. He was 44 years old, from the boy who was left to die to the ruler of the steppe. But this was only the beginning. Genghis Khan understood, a united Mongolia is a powerful force, but the steppe is poor. Resources are needed, cities are needed, wealth is needed. He started with China, the Jin Empire, powerful, rich, with millions of inhabitants. The Mongols were outnumbered tens of times, but they had speed, mobility, and tactics. Mongol cavalry moved at a speed of 100 kilometers per day. Chinese armies couldn't react in time. Cities fell one after another. Genghis Khan didn't just fight, he studied. Captured Chinese engineers, forced them to build siege machines, learned to take fortresses. Northern China was captured. Wealth flowed into Mongolia. Then came Khwarizm, a powerful empire in Central Asia. Genghis Khan sent a trade caravan. The Khwarezmian governor killed the envoys and took the goods. A huge mistake. Genghis Khan gathered an army of 200,000 men and fell upon Khwarizm like a tsunami. Bukhara, Samarkand, Urgench, the greatest cities of the Islamic world, all wiped off the face of the earth. Historians write between 15 and 20 million people died. This was revenge, and a warning to the world, don't touch the Mongols. Next, the Caucasus, Rus, Eastern Europe. The Mongols traveled thousands of kilometers, defeated dozens of armies. No one could stop them. When Genghis Khan died in 1227, his empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea, the largest in human history, created in one lifetime. So what made Temujin into Genghis Khan? First, he learned. From every defeat, from every mistake, lost a battle, studied the enemy's tactics, couldn't take a fortress, captured engineers. Second, meritocracy. He didn't care about your origin. What mattered were loyalty and ability. This attracted the best. Third, ruthlessness. Genghis Khan knew no mercy for enemies. Resist, you will be destroyed. Surrender.
Become part of the empire. From an orphan who was abandoned in the steppe to a man who changed the course of history. From nobody to everything. His descendants ruled the Mongol Empire for another 150 years. His genes, according to scientists' calculations, are carried by 16 million people today. Genghis Khan proved, origin does not determine destiny. Strategy, will, and ruthlessness, that's what creates empires. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe to the channel. Write in the comments about which historical figures you want to hear about next, and I bid you farewell. See you in the next episode.